I was about to go to the library to pick up the annotated Lovecraft, and I realized, wait a minute, I'm the only one here in the house. Do you know what that means? I need to do a YouTube video. And I might copy Sequester Zone and try to talk about a sci-fi novel or something. I'll try to do that here pretty soon. Also, unlike Sequester Zone though, I try to keep my videos short. I like his style. He's able to keep my attention the entire time, usually. And when he doesn't keep my attention the entire time, I'm there like most way. But anyway, he's talking about the free speech argument. There's a good and a bad way of using it. See, the thing is, when you use the free speech argument, people will always come back and say something like, well, this isn't the government trying to shut you down, so it's fine. Like, really, the only time the free speech argument is strong is if we're talking about whether or not a government institution should outlaw what you're saying. And then you can bring up free speech. But what you can do instead is read John Stuart Mill's On Liberty. It's only like the first chapter. In fact, I remember the page. It's on my book anyway, it's page 14. That's how much I read that book in college. Anyway, the basic idea in it is that you should allow all kinds of views, even wacky views, because your own arguments might get stronger in arguing against these wacky views. And there might be some bit of truth in the wacky view that you can accept while rejecting the rest of the wacky view, and your viewpoint's still stronger. Or it might be the case that there's a viewpoint that we view as just crazy right now, which is actually correct. Because I guarantee you that at one point in history, in fact, right now, democracy is a controversial topic. That's considered a wacky view. I saw the guy the other day on the internet arguing about how when third world countries adopt democracy, they make themselves liable to become puppets of the United States government, which I don't know what I think about, but there's a instance right there where there's people who treat what seems to be a true good idea as controversial and something that potentially to be, outlawed. That's how some people do think like that. And then during the monarchical times, of course, it was seen as one of those wacky fringe views that would lead to just people thought that democracy, if you tried to implement it, society would literally collapse into a state of nature and chaos and just mobs running around lynching people and burning houses down. That's what the people thought democracy was. So, how people think about anarchy today is how people in monarchical times thought about democracy. So let that sink in. That's a good example of why you should allow wacky views in, because a wacky view like democracy in the past might actually have a whole lot of truth to it. Now, another bad way to use free speech is if you're in an argument and you just start saying free speech. I've seen that a whole lot recently. There was just a horrible video that was done on secular TV. I don't want to get too much into it, but people were just saying free speech. That doesn't work. If someone criticizes you for something you say, you have to answer the criticisms. Merely saying that you have free speech is a red herring. No one's denying that you have free speech. No one's saying that you should just be blocked and kicked off the internet space for giving an opinion. So it's really I call it a paper shield argument. It looks like a good argument, but under any amount of analysis, it just collapses. So, yes, if someone gives you criticism, don't just say free speech over and over and over again and hope they just give up. Don't wear them down with bad arguments. Actually answer the criticism. Now, when it comes to blocking people, I'm not a fan of blocking people. So, even though people have the right to, it's also not a good argument to say, well, they have a right to block people. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that they shouldn't. You can be allowed to do something legally and you still shouldn't do it. Like a person can lead legally an unhealthy lifestyle, but they shouldn't, even though it's their body. But yes, when it comes to my own blocking policy, I do not recommend blocking all that much at all. Like, the only time I would ever block is if someone is doxing arguing for horribly illegal and evil, bad stuff, or if they were spamming, or if they were just being really mean without adding anything. Now, if they're being mean and adding something, like they're having a good argument, but their good argument has like curse words in it, I'd let it stay, because it's still worth it. But anyway, other than that, you shouldn't block. Blocking should be like an extreme solution. You shouldn't just do it all the time. I worry that many people on the internet do it too much. I'm not going to say free speech as my argument. I'm merely going to say you should really allow a variety of voices, and understand that when people are very, very honest, which they are on the internet, they may go Gordon Ramsay on you when you say something that they disagree with. So that's my point.